Start. Before we kick off formally, there's a few things I need to say about some housekeeping things and some reminders, and then David's going to give us a proper welcome. But thank you all for making it. Appreciate some travel was less than ideal, so thank you for your efforts. Yes, just a quick reminder about housekeeping. So there are no fire alarms planned, so if there is a fire alarm, it's a real one. And the kind of muster area is just across the road by the church. There will be photography and things for social media going on all day, so if you have a massive problem with that, please let one of us know. And obviously refreshments are next door and toilets are in that corridor there, and there's some downstairs as well, if you need those. So quick reminder of the programme. After David's finished, Paul's going to give us our first keynote, and then we'll be into the presentation session and then some refreshments. But other than that, hopefully we've all got a copy of it, so if you need to refer to that, please do. And as a reminder, next door there are a selection of people who have a stand and some information about what they do and why that might be interesting to you. So when the opportunity is there, please go and talk to them and find out why they're here. And then just a quick reminder that I don't know if it's all on there yet at the moment, but at some point over the next 2 days and certainly after the event, all of the conference materials, all the posters, all the presentations will be available on Spark, and there's some QR codes on the tables and you can find the link easily online to access those. And then two really important reminders. So the first one is throughout the next 2 days, please vote for your favourite presentations and posters. There are some awards to give out at the end of tomorrow, so if you don't vote, somebody will win unfairly, so please do. And equally important, later this afternoon, there is a bit of a panel discussion with some academics and some industry experts on the future of the rail industry in the UK, and it would make our lives easier if you submit some advanced questions to that. So there's some QR codes on the table as well and around the room, but let me know if you can't find one. So other than that, I'll hand over to David for a proper welcome.
Right, thanks very much, Jacob. And I would very much welcome everybody. Thanks for making it through the floods and the sheet ice pavements to get here. I'd really like to start off with thanking Jacob and Philomena for putting this together. It is truly a student-led conference. The academic staff here have been doing our best not to get involved, and there's a whole team there with Jacob and Philomena leading it, but also you've got other students chairing the sessions, and we've got some of the department staff manning the desk downstairs and helping us with room bookings and so on. So please do, if you spot them, remember they've put a lot of work into this. So I thought it was useful to start off, oh, it's done two at once, thinking about the numbers. When we started thinking about doing this, we had no idea how many people there are doing rail research at the kind of PhD level in the UK. We realised nobody actually holds that number. And so we thought, okay, well, let's guess there's probably a reasonable number at, the universities that are usual suspects, but we knew there were probably a lot more. Let's put the invite out and see what starts to happen. Well, 67 presentations from the students and 96 delegates. I think you'll agree that's a really fantastic outcome for finding out what's going on in rail research around the UK. I was talking to, I don't know if anybody knows Alan Lawton, who works a lot with RSSB yesterday. He was similarly impressed with that number of people coming out of the woodwork effectively and being, oh, there are that many people doing rail research in the UK. It is the first conference. We hope there should be another one. Hopefully we're successful enough in this one that we can use this time as well to think about who might host the next one and how we might put that together and how we might make that work. So if you're having thoughts about that as we go through, please do contribute those when you can. Now, I think when Paul starts his presentation, I found, Paul, you're going back to 1963 in some of your stuff. I think I'm not going back quite that far, but I thought it was useful to think about how did we get here and how we got into UKRRIN. And so I'm only going back to the beginning of the 2000s here with Rail Research UK, and I've said it a very long time ago, and there's a photograph of a few of us there from the time, because the World Congress on Railway Research was held in Edinburgh that year. 2003, when Rail Research UK formed, That was set up as a centre of excellence funded by the EPSRC with 7 universities, and began to bring together rail research that was happening around the UK. It did some really exciting stuff, but of course, as with any grant, it reached a close date and we had to decide what to do next. The collaboration was really strong, and after a little while, we found some support with the Rail Safety and Standards Board to bring us together as the Rail Research UK Association, initially with the 7 universities from RR UK, and later we began to build that and add more members. And we had some success with that. Everybody agreed we were getting some value out of that, and we wanted to go to the next stage. The opportunity for that came along in 2016, very much led by Clive Roberts in Birmingham, bringing together the players that could form a group and partner with industry to make a really large investment. And you can see the number at the bottom there of £92 million that was behind the original UKRRIN plans. And that enabled us to step forward to UKRRIN and where we are now. So I've only kind of gone through the academic side there. I think, Paul, perhaps you'll focus a little bit more on some of the industry side in your history. I did think we could go back hundreds of years to talk about how innovation has played a part in railways, but let's just stay with the 21st century. Now, thinking about what UKRRIN is, we gathered together under these headings: the digital systems, rolling stock, infrastructure, and the testing led by Network Rail primarily. We're focused quite a lot on academic work here. It's a student conference, but we've got all the industry partners, many of whom are in the room as well. And what are we doing? Well, forming a network to try and increase the capacity of UK research and our quality of delivery in terms of what the railway can do. And you're all there doing what might seem like a small project, but you're part of this bigger picture. It's an expanding list of industry partners and also expanding list of university partners. And the idea, world-leading research, world-leading testing centres, increasing rail productivity, increasing performance. I think everybody will agree we're not there yet on all those things. There's still lots to do, but hopefully we're going in the right direction. And the bottom one there, very much about trying to bring not just the major players in the industry in, but perhaps some of the smaller ones that might work with us in the university to take some ideas forward. So that's what the network looks like. I should also give you a little bit of an introduction to Sheffield. So you're all here for a couple of days. We're here within the Faculty of Engineering. So currently reorganized into four academic schools covering all the main academic subjects. 370 staff. Well, our voluntary severance program closes tomorrow. So then maybe that number will change soon. Things aren't altogether rosy, as I'm sure people know in every university at the moment. Large student cohort and covering a lot of engineering subjects. That's happening within the university, a well-established, long-standing university of the Russell Group. I don't think any of the Nobel Prize winners are in rail, but maybe somebody in the room here. In the future, when your research takes off, maybe you'll be the one. Now, I don't want to talk for 15 minutes. I was a bit shocked with that 15-minute slot I was given. I thought, no, nobody wants to listen to me for 15 minutes giving an intro. But I will wrap up looking outside academia. I don't know if people heard about Rail 200. I'm seeing some nods. Not everybody, though. Okay, so your introduction to Rail 200. So 2025 marks the 200th anniversary of modern railways. And so there's a year-long program of events, which is about trying to promote railways, so increasing the number of people who choose to take the train, but also, and I've highlighted it in bold there, thinking about the next generation of people who go to work in the railways and making sure that the talent to make railways great is actually choosing to enter the industry. And that's really particularly relevant to you in the room as a student cohort. So lots of activities. There's a web link there and a QR code where you can find out more. But have a look at that, see if there's something coming up that you want to do this year and get involved in that. And there should be some great events. That's all I wanted to say. So I'll hand over to Paul.